All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons. As you can see, that we welcome you to the Real Talk Sports Show as we broadcast to you on multiple platforms. And we're very appreciative of those of you, especially who are watching us on the replay. Those of you who pick us up and watch us after the fact, we appreciate you very much for doing so. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Well, it's been another interesting sports weekend, especially if you live here in the city of Atlanta. Some ups and downs, and we'll talk about all of that. And we're switching over. I shouldn't say switching over. Yeah, we are. Regular season is over for high school football now. Playoff time is going to start. And as you know, second Tuesday of the week is Jonesboro Tuesday. We look forward to bringing on the third place team in their region, Jonesboro Cardinals. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They are made the playoffs for the Georgia High School Football Association. They will hopefully be joining us in about the 8:15 hour, and we can get an update from them on who they're playing, where they're playing, and what the outlook is for the game coming up. Big shout out again to all those of you who tuned in to us to watch us here on the broadcast tonight. Well, she's back. We know her as one of the most beautiful women on sports talk radio or TV. She is back from her travels from places unknown. We call her the Queen. Miss Tree Dolman is back in the building. Tree, welcome back.
Hello, Jonathan. Hi, everyone.
Dun, dun,
And
dun,
Jonathan,
dun.
your voice, I think the mic keeps going in and out.
All right, how about now? Any better?
Keep talking.
Keep talking, keep talking. Let me get the mic nice and close here. So it's right on top of my face here. Maybe, hopefully, we going in and
Yeah,
out
no,
now? We
that's
good?
much better.
Okay, so mic was down too far away
Yeah,
from my
no, that's much
face.
better.
I got to remember to talk right into this mic here. Yeah, so welcome back, Tree. Good to have you back and right on time. I will have you know that after several attempts and multiple reformatting, we're just going to see if we can, finally do something we've been claiming to do. Here's a quick peek. That's it. That's all you get. Just to let you know, we finally got it uploaded to StreamYard. Took me several attempts. I had to change the format and do all kinds of different things. But anyway, the bottom line is, at the end of the broadcast, as we talk pro football, we will be letting you guys take a look at the much awaited and long desired clip of the Detroit Lions. It's kind of like a hype video. So we're gonna and listen, and why should we not mention those Lions? Because right now they are balling out, one of the best teams in the NFC. And a lot of people think one of the best teams in the NFL overall. So,
The
yeah,
best
want to
team
give a
in
big
the
shout out.
NFC, in my
Well, there you go.
thank you.
That's and from the Queen. The Queen has spoken to let you know. Well, another thing that is kind of near and dear to the Queen's heart. Well, actually, before we do, let's go to social media because guys have been stacking up the comments. So let's go here to social media. And Tree, I'm going to have to ask you to read because my glasses are nowhere to be found. Go ahead.
All right. Todd said, I don't blame Coach Smith for the decline this year for Falcons. He is what we thought he was, a poor play caller, arrogant, and not ready for prime time. I blame the owner.
Gosh,
Oh, Todd,
you have to rip. Rip. Who
I
else we
love
got
it.
here? Here we go.
Sullivan said, "Oh, shucky ducky, we back." Hey, Sullivan said, "Were you at the game?" Of course, I was at the game, Sullivan. I have.
We both were there at the game. Both of us were there. Sully, I tried to track you down to go catch up with my brother, and then I kind of got off the beaten path there. So sorry about that. Sorry we didn't get a chance to catch up with you in person. Hopefully next time we can do that. I'm going to do this really quickly, guys. I'm going to reboot our screen here 1 second. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Real Talk Sports Show as we broadcast to you live from just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Keep it locked right here. Don't go nowhere. Please, please, please. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Stay tuned and stay tuned.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
Back here on the Real Talk Sports Show, we are attempting to reboot and get the Queen back on here. I'm going to see if she disappeared from our green room here for just a second. Let's see if she's back. Nope, she's still in places unknown. So we'll be able to get her back on the broadcast in just a second. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the Hawks. We wanted to wait till the Queen gets back on there, but hopefully, like I say again, she'll be able to reboot with us in just a second. Hawks look great. I mean, this is a team that is really after a bad start. I was thinking, oh man, here we go again. 0-2 start, 2 losses to teams they really should have beaten in terms of Charlotte Hornets. And I know the Charlottes have been their kryptonite. Where Charlotte has kind of handled them over the years, but you were thinking, hey, there's new Quinn Snyder era, and they'd be able to come out here and ball out. But I tell you, I was disappointed. Not only did they not play well against Charlotte, but then came home against their arch rival, the Knicks, and I mean, just completely let the Knicks beat the brakes off them. I mean, especially the head-to-head battle between Jalen Brunson and Trae Young. It was one-sided, man. Brunson lit him up, 31 points, 8 assists. He was virtually unstoppable. Trae looked tentative at times, and now again he was coming and dealing with some leg injuries.
Okay, so it is Jonathan's.
Yep, she's back in there. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can hear me. You're saying
no, you keep going out.
All right. Let's see what's going on here with our system here. Not quite sure what's cooking here. Let's see what we got going on here. Not quite sure. Let me do a little Facebook test here and see if we can figure out what's going on. I'm going to play a little music here, guys, and then, like you said, we'll be back. You know how it is. It's always something going on in this wild world of sports. Hang on 1 second. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a minute. I think the music is coming through okay. We're still having some problems here, keeping Tree in the picture, so not quite sure what is cooking for us today. It's the first time we've had these issues in a long, long time, so hopefully we'll be able to get them corrected sooner rather than later. Well, I'm going to do this here. I'm going to play some clips, actually an interview that I did with Mr. Brian Jordan. He interviewed us. We interviewed with him not too long ago, so we're going to pop the interview out. We're going to try to reboot, get some better signal here, and see if we can get all of us on the air at one time. So just hang tight. We'll be back on more of the Real Talk Sports Show. I think what we're going to do is let's go ahead and let you guys look at an interview of a team that is made the playoffs. Mondays Mill High School. This is one of their star players, and we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in a moment.
All right, guys, we're post-game. Another big win here for the Tigers of Mondays Mill. Coach, 5-0 start. What does it mean to you to start off 2023 this way?
Pretty good. Like I said, we understand the task we have at hand. It feels good to be 5-0, but like I tell them, at the end of the day, we just really want to go 1-0. That's our big objective, to go 1-0. Make sure that we always take care of home field, and make sure that if we can, have a home playoff game.
All right, who you got next to you, Coach, over here, number 17?
My quarterback, Donovan Morton,
Donovan
senior.
Morton. Yes, sir.
Introduce yourself again one time.
Donovan Morton, senior quarterback.
What was the key for you today, getting this big win, 43-0 here over Forest Park?
It feels good. We came out kind of shaky, but we had to get it together, and we got it together. And we came out, and everybody executed the way they need to do.
How can people find out more about you, follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at 17dots and on Twitter at 3d.morton.
All right, let's go over here. Young man, why don't you pull his jersey down so everybody can see that number? Got to be official. All right, there is number 8. Introduce yourself to everybody, please.
Joshua 04, linebacker, class 2024.
What does it mean for you guys to get a shutout here, 43-0 for win number 5 on the season?
It mean a lot because it's really our first one, and like we started a bit shaky at first, but like when it got to the second half and all that, all defense locked in, and even on special teams too.
Was it a bit of a challenge because Forest Park kind of runs that strange offense where they got a diamond in the middle and 5 guys on the outside? How were you able to kind of stop them from getting any yards against you today?
Our DC, he wrote up a good game plan against it, so it's like we weren't really worried about it when we came out.
How can people follow you on social media?
Showtime 04 on Instagram and Twitter.
Hi. So again, not sure if you heard me, but glad you were there, Sullivan. Hope you enjoyed the game. Let me know, did you enjoy the game? Let me know, were you rooting for the Falcons or were you rooting for the Minnesota Vikings? We all know I was rooting for the Vikings. And I must say that I was very impressed and proud to be a Viking. When all I saw was purple and gold, I knew we had a lot of Viking fans around the world, but my goodness, the Vikings came and showed out and took over Atlanta. I saw so many purple and gold jerseys everywhere. That's all I saw. I promise, it felt like I was at a Minnesota Vikings game in Minnesota. That's how much purple and gold I saw at the game. I was blown away. I knew it would be a lot of fans there, but I didn't think it would be as many as it was. But yeah. All right. Are you back, Jonathan?
Again. Hopefully you can hear me, Tree. Can you hear me okay now?
You're still, yes, now I hear you.
All right. Let's go here. We got Mr. Tyrone Poole is in the building here. We probably wouldn't get the introduction, but we've been having a little ghost in the machine tonight. First time in a while we've had any problems, but nevertheless, the show must go on. Tyrone Poole, Hall of Famer and Super Bowl winner, 2-time Super Bowl winner. What's going on, sir?
Nothing much. How's everybody doing?
We are doing fantastic, sir. Good to be here. Of course, lots going on in the world of sports. And it's Tyrone. It's been a little while, but I know you remember those days. High school football playoffs. You find out what your seating is, where you're going, where you are in the region, what teams you're going to play, all that kind of good stuff. And that's exactly what's going on right now with our favorite team, Jonesboro High School. They are. Well, I'll let Coach Timothy Floyd. I think he's in the green room. Coach Floyd, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Well, first of all, congratulations. You guys back in the playoffs again. Talk to us a little bit about your team's overall record and where you guys are going to be playing this Friday night.
So we're 7-3 right now. That put us at third in the region. So we'll be traveling to play Glenn Academy this Friday night.
Glenn Academy. So where are they located?
Brunswick, Georgia, south of Savannah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a little ride. That's a little ride right there. You going? What are you talking about? 4-hour ride, I think, one way, something like that.
Yeah, a little bit over 4 hours. We're excited though.
Well, what do you know about that? What do you know about the team? And maybe Tyrone and even Queen might have some trust questions about you making this preparation here to go on down to Glen and play these guys down there in Brunswick.
Well, they're a tough team, well coached, some good athletes. We went down there a few years ago, I think 2016 in the playoffs. They beat us in the first round, so it's a little bit of familiarity, but we're looking forward to it. We're excited about the opportunity, and they're a tough team.
Guys, any questions? Any questions for Coach Floyd as he get prepared to take his team down the road a spell to see if they can get a win here in their first round?
I just have a quick question. One question for Coach Floyd. Coach Floyd, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I know you guys have seniors on the team, and me personally as a player, I know you played the game. Everybody here has played sports at some level, and the goal is to win the championship. And when I was playing high school, whether it was college or professionally, you never want to get bounced out in the first round, man. I'm like, the first round, like, why did we get here to get bounced out in the first round? So I say that to say, what do you think your seniors are saying to those freshmen and those sophomores? This is their last hurrah. Some of them probably, this is their second time ever in the playoffs, maybe their third time, but we want to try to win a championship. We don't just want to get here, man. We want to win the championship. So what is the identity? What is the passion in your locker room getting ready to go to this playoff game?
Well, I'll say overall it's a relaxed attitude. I think I want them to be relaxed, but I also want them to be focused. And I think the seniors are kind of trying to find that medium. Hopefully, they feeding off me with more focus and spreading that to the rest of the team. As we have about 14 seniors and we have about 20 sophomores, and that are all contributing. So we're most definitely looking forward to the senior leadership to step up and take charge of the locker room, like you said, and just get everybody focused when we step out on the field, on the practice field, and on Friday night, focusing on one play and winning the day each day and winning each play. So that's been the message.
We got social media buzzing here. Before we go to Tree's question, Tree, we got some stuff on social media. Let's see what we got.
Sullivan said, Coach, I got you. I'll drive for you. Todd said, Coach, you need a few trick plays. That's funny. In the mix, I was going to say, I suggest a double reverse. Can you do it?
Yeah, we gonna kind of hold on to that for right now.
Well, Coach, you already know my formation. It's even y'all call it something else, but I call it the Jumbotron formation. Man, it reminded me of that old commercial from Wendy's. Where's the beef? I don't know where Coach gets these guys from, but look like everybody 300 pounds. He rolls them all out for them short yardages and wham.
Yeah, they all get excited about it. They start lobbying for the position in January. So
I don't blame him. Listen, here's the guy that I think is behind that big Jumbotron offense. His big boy's coming out. Coach Syrup, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. Coach, where you at? Where the light at, sir?
I'm in the car.
Were you in the closet? What you?
No, I'm in the car.
Yeah, we just got a practice not too long ago.
All right. We'll let you go. Okay, Queen, you have some questions for either Coach Syrup, who's in the dark right now, or Coach Floyd, either one?
Yeah, I have a question for Coach Floyd. I just want to know, I know with the big game coming up, and there's always so many distractions that players can face from family, friends, social media. What are different things that you do to try to make sure that your players stay focused on the game?
Well, I'm constantly sending them messages in our group chat. We carry on our daily business. We got a community service event tomorrow, and we just keep trying to carry on with our daily routine. But most definitely, I think the messages of winning the day, trying to get them to focus on those little things that they have to do to win each day. That's been pretty helpful.
I love it. So you never have a time where you ask them to put down cell phones or things of that nature before the game?
No, 'cause I like them to listen to their music. I ask them what music they like and kind of compare it to what I like, and tell them that well, I'm not gonna get into that, but their music's not close to what I like. So,
Yeah.
but I like for them to listen to the music and try to relax before we go out.
Okay.
What do you say, Coach? Your soundtrack a little different. All right, Coach, give us your top 3 in your soundtrack. What's your playlist? Top 3 of the playlist.
Let's do it. Here I go, and I can feel it in the air tonight.
He got a little Phil Collins in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
Everybody
Miami
wait for that
Vice.
drum line to drop.
You're surely right. And you see Coach, that explains something. I always wonder, why did they play that at the game at Terra Stadium? You did that. Okay, now I know. I never knew. I was like, who knows about Phil Collins? Well, there you go. Let's go to social media here again. Tree, please.
Sullivan said, "Could you remind me of Denzel Washington and remember that tight ends, how calm, cool, and steady, but more holding the players at a high level."
He's the man. That's it. Coach, now you said that, Glenn. Now, do you have a big contingent going down with you? What, you taking a couple of buses, one bus, no bus? What's the setup for the transportation to get down there?
Well, as for the team, it will be on 2 buses, just head down, business trip, and hopefully get out there and take care of business.
Coach, sir, if you watch the tape, what do you think is the biggest challenge for your offensive line going against this Glenn Academy team?
I would say just execute. When we execute, we do a pretty good job on the offense. So just executing it and doing our job, letting our playmakers fly around.
Well, Coach, sound like you guys got them ready to go. Everybody's just all business. Coach Serve leaning back in the car, chilling. You got your playlist put together, so sounds like you guys are pretty much ready to go. Have you gotten a feel from now? You guys bringing the band down with you as well?
Yes, sir. Majestic Marching Cardinals will be in the house.
That might be a home field advantage right there, Coach. Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, if y'all listen to the broadcast, you'll hear me say that they seem to have no filter. They be full throttle the whole time. Even sometimes I saw you had to go wave them down because you were trying to call play and they were just getting right to it. So that's going to be a big help, I think, for you guys to have that familiarity and have them there, because like I said, they're really, literally one of the best bands in the country.
And I agree, they are probably the best band in the country, and they most definitely bring a lot of energy. And I appreciate Mr. Goodwin and his staff and the kids and the job they're doing, along with the cheerleaders. So we at Cardinal Nation really excited about all of those groups.
Well, certainly you got my man Sullivan excited. He's like, look, what's he saying, Tree, what's he saying about the music?
He said, "Coaches with that R&B old school."
Most definitely old school.
We ready. He said, "We ready. Let's get it."
One last one in from social media here. I think that's Todd. What's he saying?
Todd said, "I suggest, Coach, find who the refs are, research them, family. So get in good graces. Nothing wrong with that, Todd."
Well, I'm not going to get into the refs, but it's most definitely going to be a hostile environment down there.
Yeah, those guys, they play some football. Tyrone, let me ask you a question. I know, like you said, again, this is going back in the day, but was there a team that you can remember from outside the area that you said, hey, if we go up against these guys, we got to really strap it up?
Yeah, I'll answer that. And also, if I give a shout out after I answer that question.
Yes, sir.
But again, I went to LaGrange High School, and I think during my time, we were so good. And how good were we? We were so good that in the future, they had to really create another high school, a town that has 50,000 or less people. They got 3 high schools. Now, if they had kept everything like it was, LaGrange would still be dominant like it is now. But because of that domination, certain kids were not going to play. So they had to create another high school in a city that only has 50,000 or less. But anyways, Valdosta was our, competition. I'm like, it was Valdosta LaGrange High School. Of course, Noonan, Griffin, those schools, Clark Central. I remember us playing Clark Central one time, and the teams from the South. The team from the South, like I said, the Valdosta, and those teams down there, man, they would come up in LaGrange, and or we would go down there. Back in the day, Vince Sutton. I don't know if you guys remember him, but he was the first black quarterback to start at Alabama. Came from LaGrange High School. Vince was the man. He was the man before there was a Randall Cunningham, and that dude could run and throw. So, but LaGrange, man, we were dominant. Valdosta was our competition. It was Valdosta LaGrange, man. So, but that's why they had to break us up. But I want to give a shout out to my son, Tyson Poole, at Walton High School. They are number 1 in the state of Georgia. The boys 10-0, and they are pretty doggone good, right? And their offense is pretty doggone good. Defense pretty good. Yeah, they are 10-0, followed by Colquitt County and Mill Creek. So shout out to my son, Tyson Poole, and Walton High School in Marietta.
Well, and like I always tell people all the time, the DNA is strong in that one. Yes, indeed. Yeah, man. Listen, if you walk again, great program. They've had a great program over the years. Those other 2 teams you mentioned, Mill Creek, Colquitt High School, also great program. I remember the first time I saw Colquitt about 7, 8 years ago. I saw him play Mays in the championship game here in the Dome, and Mays at that time had been the first high school team to boast a starting offensive line where it averaged 300 pounds. And Colquitt, after falling behind, took them down the second half and held on to win. So yeah, man, they're. I mean, every year they're gonna bring it, bro. And of course, Valdosta. I mean, that's I'm not even from here. I know about those guys. So that's you talking some legendary teams there. All right, guys. What time's the game start on Friday? And as much as I would like to travel down with you and stream the game, 2 things. Number 1, I can't really travel that far. And number 2, the Georgia High School Association. For those of you, because a lot of people have asked me, hey, how come you don't do the playoff games? The Georgia High School State Association has a contract with another vendor. So in order for us as an independent to stream, we have to have some healthy sponsors, because the audio stream is $250 a game. The video stream is $750 a game. So that's why if y'all be wondering, how come you don't see me, just seeing the tape, that's what it is. It's a pretty hefty fee that they charge. So anyway, what time game start on Friday?
Game is 7:30 at Glenn County Stadium in Brunswick, Georgia.
Brunswick, Georgia. So if you guys want to pack it up, go down there. That's it. And Coach, if you could, I know that somebody streamed. I think it was National Football Foundation. Somebody actually might do the stream. So if you find out, if you want to pass us the information, we'll repost on our website for you for sure.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get up here. You can follow him on social media. Coach Syrup is the guy behind the scenes. Let's get up here so you guys will know how to find out more about the Cardinals. I think I have there. Yeah, it is right there. Bam! There you go. JHS Cardinal Football on the gram and JHS Cardinal FB on Twitter, aka X. So y'all can find them and check them out. Gentlemen, good luck. God bless. Safe travel. And hopefully you'll come back with a nice upset victory that we can talk about here on the show and at Clayton County.
Thank you. And let's go Burrow.
All right.
All right, everybody, want to take a break?
Go get them.
Go get them is right. All right, guys, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Thank you.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
We're back, guys. You're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. Right next to me is the Queen, and right next to her is the two-time champion Hall of Famer, Mr. Tyrone Poole. I want to do this really quickly before we shift in and talk a little bit college football. Tree, I know that you are having maybe a few difficulties as we start the basketball season and we think about our Atlanta Hawks because they're missing your buddy, the one and only Mr. John Collins. He is now making his way doing this thing up in Utah. And I will tell you something that's very interesting, that his replacement, Jalen Johnson and John, right now, their stats are almost identical. Craziest thing, John is averaging 14.8 a game for Utah, playing about maybe 35 to 36 minutes. Jalen Johnson is averaging 14.5 points a game here for Atlanta. John's averaging 8.9 rebounds a game. Jalen Johnson's averaging 8.5 rebounds a game. So Jalen is trying to do everything he can to fill the shoes of the dear departed John Collins, but John is still doing John-type things, 15-8 out there in Utah.
So I have a question. So Sadiq Bey isn't the one who replaced John Collins?
Well, that's the way it started, but Jalen Johnson played so well, they actually moved him into the starter slot.
Oh, watch out there now.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson has been off the chain. I mean, because one of the things that he brings to the table is he kind of reminds you, but really it's kind of funny, he kind of reminds you of what John was when he first got here. You know, a lot of over the rim plays. The biggest difference is that he's a better ball handler and passer than John. You know, whereas John a lot of times couldn't get his own shot. You know, Jalen Johnson can. He's good off the dribble, decent with the assist. And yeah, I think he's got a lot of upside. But like I said, John did his thing here. And I think really had he maybe had a different coaching situation right off the rip when they got in Clint Capella, things might have been different. But I think the way they kind of brought him in and then they immediately tried to make him do some things that he really wasn't that accustomed to and comfortable with, I think it kind of took him a while to get in the groove. And then, by that time, the Hawks were trying to looking to do something else. So, but anyway, I just want to give you that update that your boy John is handling his business out there in Utah, and that now Jalen Johnson technically is really more of his replacement than Sadiq Bey. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pop the stats up here so you guys can see it right here. I think I have it here. I think we had the visual somewhere. Yep, here it is. Okay, let's pop this up on the screen so you guys can see it. Avon calling. Thank you. And there's on the screen, there's stats right there, and you can see, I mean, it's eerie, almost identical. There it is. I thought it was 36 minutes, but actually it's 30.6 minutes per game for John versus 30.1 minutes a game for Jalen Johnson. John averaging 14.8 a game. Jalen Johnson averaging 14.3 a game. You can see that their field goal percentage is very similar. Johnson has a little bit of edge, 57.5 from the floor. And John right now, actually a better three-point shooter, 36.7 to 31.6 for Jalen Johnson. Johnson actually a little bit better rebounding average and a little bit better on the assists. So, yeah, it's just very interesting to kind of look at those numbers right there and see how closely, these guys have kind of panned out for their two teams. So, yeah, big shout out to John Collins. Can't wait to see him when he comes back. I know, Tree, that's a game that you're probably going to want to cover when Utah comes to town, right? See, I already knew that. Yeah, so I already knew. And I know you'll probably get down there early for that game so you can kind of get close to him on the sideline. And John, we miss you.
No,
not that much. Oh, there you go.
No, okay. I don't talk to people I don't know.
All right, well. Anyway, that's it. I just want to let you guys know that. I am looking
forward to when he does come and play here, because I think that that's going to be a game that he's really going to show out and score a lot of points and let the Hawks know what they're missing.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the Hawks, as they always have done, to their credit, they always give any returning player like the big kind of, 1.5 minute kind of big thing on the jumbotron and the appreciation. So that's it. Okay, here we go. Let's see what social media is saying real quick.
Sullivan said, "Don't get me going about the Hawks." Let's get going, Sullivan. Ty said, "John Collins sure gets a lot of airtime on this show." He sure does, Todd.
Hey.
Sullivan said,
I think Sully means yes, he does.
Yes, he does. He does get a lot of airtime on this show. He's my favorite. Well, he was my favorite Hawk.
Hey, I mean, you know how it is, guys. The Queen likes to talk about John Collins, so we're trying to give him some love. And listen, the guy was an outstanding player, especially in those first couple of years. So, it's just the way it is. So Sully kind of
and he was the longest. He was the longest standing Hawk that was on the roster before he left. So he had the most seniority, and I respect that. But I wish him well in Utah. And looking forward to seeing what the Hawks will do. I'm really excited about this season.
I mean, they look good after a slow start, 0-2 start. They've come roaring back. They're one of the top scoring teams in the league. They're over 120 points a game. They've looked better defensively. And in the second half, they really have been a very good second half team here as we start this early season. But they got a ways to go. They're gonna have to continue to grow. Lost last night, tough game on the road to OKC. I know it kind of hurt Trey because that's like going back home, and nobody wants to lose when they go back home. But like I say again, at the end of the day, it should be interesting watching these guys. Let's take a quick little peek at the NBA, the standings as it looks right now. In the East, the Boston Celtics, that we expected 5-1, along with Philadelphia. They are the leaders in the clubhouse right now on top of the Eastern Division. Hawks are right around the, let's see where they're at here. They are 4-3. So they're right at that number 4 spot, actually, overall in the Eastern Conference. Over in the West, the Denver Nuggets, defending champions, showing they still got what it takes, 7-1. Dallas Mavericks, 6-1. As Luka Doncic has been balling out, he's amongst the leaders in scoring. He's scoring over 30 points a game again, and right behind Trey in assists. So I'm sure those comparisons will be coming up later on in the year. Golden State 6-2, and the Timberwolves is 4-2, round out the West as the top 4 teams there. So yeah, it's going to be interesting if we kind of go down the stretch this season. Kind of see what our Hawks will be able to do in this season. All right, let's shift over to college football. What do you guys think here, Tree? I'll ask you first since you are a Michigander. How far do you think they're going to take this thing with Michigan and this whole kind of cheating scandal? You think any possibility that they might try to do something to block them from getting the postseason or finding the coach or suspending him for any games this season?
So I think that it will depend on when they make a decision. So I can't say, because sometimes it takes them a long time to look up all of the evidence and find everything. And then once they complete it is usually once they do the finding or things of that nature. So with that being said, I really am not sure if they will complete it before the playoffs. So I don't think that they will kick Michigan out of the playoffs. I think that they will definitely find the coaches and suspend the coaches, but you never know, because I think that all of the attention that this is getting and the different things that people are saying are happening, I think that they definitely will want to set an example, but I still don't think that they will kick them out of the playoffs. And I'm definitely hoping that they would never do such a thing, because the players are playing very hard and so many people will suffer if that happens, but we'll see.
Tyrone, any shot of the coach getting any big penalties before the end of the season, or do you think they're just going to leave it everything and wait till after the end of the season?
Well, I'll tell you this, and there's something else I want to mention as well. I don't think they're going to do anything to Michigan. That would be foul play in my instance, to just kick them out of 2023. I think, it's just a topic that is a topic to talk about. But let's be honest, they're not going to do anything. They're going to allow November the 25th to decide, because that's when Ohio State plays Michigan. and one of them gonna get bumped out of the playoffs come November 25th. I promise you that.
You think so?
Yes. They only take what 14. How many teams go to the playoffs?
4. That's it. That's all you got this year is 4.
Okay, 4. Yes.
Yeah,
So,
4.
when you look at the rankings,
No, but last year, depending on, of course, if other teams lose and so I'm just saying there's a possibility, because last year when Michigan beat Ohio State still went. So that's why I was saying that. Of course, it does. It matters what happens with the other teams, but that's why I was just saying it.
Yeah, last year was last year. You look at what teams were available last year. Everybody pretty much had like a loss or something. But you got Washington, you got Florida State. Of course, they're going to, the more that they can regionally make these teams available to the country, then the best. So I do believe November 25th, Ohio State or Michigan they're going to knock themselves out of the playoffs. And then you got Georgia, either Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State or Michigan. Then you got Florida State. They're in the ACC. I don't think they're going to lose too many more games in the ACC. You got Washington, with the Pac-12 is kind of weak. I think they would rather see a team like Oregon or Texas probably get into the playoffs. But again, this is the playoff rankings as they stand. It's different from the AP, right? Coaches poll, so to speak. The coaches top 25, they got Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State. Those are the top 4 teams. Playoff rankings, Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, and then you got Washington sitting there at 9-0, Oregon sitting there at 8-1. So yes, I do believe November the 25th, if everything stayed the way it stands, Ohio State, Michigan, they basically on a head-on collision and not one of the other out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, like you mentioned, Tree mentioned last year, you did have 2 Big Ten teams in there, and the years before that, we've had 2 SEC teams in there with Alabama and Georgia. But I think that in this final year before they go to 12, they're trying. If you remember, a couple of years ago, we had Alabama and Georgia both in the college football playoffs.
I thought you said last year.
No. Last year was 2 Big Ten teams. You had Michigan and Ohio State. I knew you could make sure I got that right. He said, "Hold it, don't cut out my Big Ten. Don't you do it." But yeah, I mean, they're trying not to do that. They really don't want to stack the teams
said,
like
"What
that.
about them dogs?"
Yep, indeed. Yeah, he's a Bulldog fan. He is a big Bulldog fan. Georgia ranked number 1. Actually, they were ranked number 1 for a long time. Now ranked number 2 overall. And they're on a 3. They're on a.
Uh-oh.
So, well,
Jonathan said, "Poof."
Yeah, that's how November 25th gonna happen when Ohio State and Michigan play. One of them gonna be like, poof. It's only gonna be 2 left.
I don't think so.
But yeah, but Tree, like I said last year, you gotta go look at the standings, the teams.
Oh yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of good teams last year. This year, it changes every year. So the SEC was the strongest. That's why everybody tried to move to the SEC, right? So everybody was saying, well, the competition out in the West wasn't that good. Michigan, Ohio State, that's where the strength. Everybody want to see good football. I know me personally, I don't want to see no team there just because they're undefeated. I don't care if a team has lost 2 games. If they are one of the best teams in the playoffs, they should be there. Now, I say this about Georgia. Last year, well, a couple of years ago, not because Georgia been dominant the last several years, but let's talk about Alabama and Georgia. They're kind of like similar, right? There were times when Alabama, they were number 1 for so long, and then they bumped down to number 2, but then Alabama still come back and win that championship. So I think Georgia is in that same cookie cutter type of format. Yes, Georgia is still dominant. They may drop down to 2, but Georgia has enough firepower. I think once the playoffs start that, they will be like Alabama was 10 years ago. They are who they are. They are who we thought they were, and boom, they're going to continue to win. So that's just my thoughts. You got some strong teams. Florida State, Washington. If Washington can get in, then I'm like, now you got the West Coast. even if they don't like the Washington Huskies. You got people on the West Coast that going to tune in just because they want their team, a representative from the West Coast, to beat somebody in the Midwest or the East Coast, kind of like back in the rap battle. You know, you got the East Coast versus the West Coast. So ideally, financially, it would work better to have a team from the North, a team from the South, a team from the Midwest, and out West. That would be the perfect storm for those betting, those who are betting, and those placing money. But that don't necessarily mean that those are the best teams.
Sullivan said, Tyrone, when are you coming to his restaurant for lunch?
Is my dollar any good? Is my dollar any good in your restaurant? That's what they say, right? They say, hey,
Your money's no good here, baby. Money's no good here. Yes, sir.
Georgia beats every day again. Sorry, Tree. What? What do you mean, sorry? What did I say about Georgia? Georgia is Michigan. Wait, put that back up. You took that down. No, he did not say Georgia is Michigan's daddy. Sorry, Tree. Listen, Todd. Okay. Todd.
He done started something now. He done started something now.
Now, we all know Georgia is not Michigan's daddy. Let's be clear, okay? Read my lips. Georgia is not Michigan's daddy. And Solomon said yes. Okay, I'm hoping that he said yes to something else and not the comment that Todd made. But we'll see, Todd,
no,
because
here's your second
the
comment.
proof is in the actions. So
yeah, Sully's he's a big Georgia fan because he's right up there coming, so he's right up the road from the Bulldogs. So yeah, you know he's gonna be a big Bulldog fan. I mean, here's the thing: they would love to see Washington go undefeated to get into this playoff because it would allow them to showcase a guy that's a front runner for the Heisman Trophy award. The Washington quarterback is the guy's just a beast, so they really would want to try to get a scenario where he could be in that game. And like Tyrone said, the more you have the region spread out, the more eyeballs, the more sponsor money they will kick forward. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. So right now, Washington, I think, sits at 5. Let's go to that. Take a peek at the poll here. Here it is. You got Ohio State 1, as we already mentioned. Georgia 2, Michigan 3, Florida State 4. Lurking in the shadows, Washington 5 and Oregon 6. Texas, a lot of things would have to happen because they took a loss to Oklahoma. Then Oklahoma messed around and took a bad loss to Kansas, which is going to kind of skew their schedule a little bit. Another guy lurking in the shadows, if they win the SEC, is you got Alabama sitting there at 8. So you get a couple of teams get some losses. I don't know.
It's gonna be tough, man. Like I said, I guess if somebody could pull up Florida State's remaining schedule. I know Washington, they're playing Utah. Utah is 13th. I don't think Utah gonna give Washington any problems unless Washington screw up themselves. As they say, beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And then they got Oregon State, right? And then they finish up with Washington State. So I'm like, I don't see any slip up other than a team out of those 3 teams I named, Utah, Oregon State, or Washington State, that should be able to beat Washington unless Washington beats themselves. So really, you're going to look at Washington going undefeated, 12-0, right? And Georgia, unless they slip up somewhere, they're going to be undefeated. And like I said, Michigan or Ohio State, that's where that loss going to come at, right? And if you got 4 undefeated teams, there's no way that loss from Michigan or Ohio State, they may drop down to 5th, but you can't put an undefeated team with 1 loss over a team that's undefeated. So I think it's just going to be tough. That's the ramp for the boom. November 25th. If everything works out, November 25th going to be big.
They're still throwing a lot of shit.
Todd, you on my list. Talk about. Todd said, Georgia drives Michigan to daycare. Who's your daddy? Sullivan said, Michigan is going to get wiped the floor by Georgia. Okay. So Todd and Sullivan, we shall see. That's all I'm going to say. Nobody beats UGA. Okay, well, we'll see about that. We will see about that. I mean, hey, we will see, right? The
Here's the good
talking is,
news.
yeah.
Tyrone got his question answered about his money. Your money no good at Sully place. He said he got you. Come on.
Go ahead, Sullivan. Hit me up, man. Tyrone, info at tyronepool.com. Info at tyronepool.com. Send me the information. Info at tyronepool.com. And we'll make it happen.
Yeah, man, we want to go up there and give Sully some love. He's been, just him and Todd are two like our main supporters of the show. So one of these days we're gonna go up there and yes.
I can see his picture, but I can't think of his name. It's another one that's always commenting about sports.
My guy from the soup place, the DNK Soup City. Mr. Hardy, yes indeed. Yeah, we all gotta take a trek. We all gotta take a trek up north. HCR, we gotta take a trek up north, eat at Sully's place. I heard he's got the best hamburgers on the north side, so we're gonna test them out and see what we can do. All right, guys, time is heading to a close, so we're gonna take one more break. We'll be back talking a little bit more football. You're watching the Real Talk Sports Show on every platform we can be on. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
All right, we're back. We've already heard the high school football recap. And so the question will be in just a moment. Arthur Smith, is the Falcons' problem his bad play calling or just really some of his players' poor execution? But before we do that, we could not let this program go by unless we salute a team that some people say is one of the best teams in the NFC. Let's take a look at a little hype from Motown.
They ready? Well, come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Are you ready?
Yay! Jonathan finally played the video.
See, I knew, Tyrone, if I had not put a video this week, I'd be in dire straits with the Queen because you missed it last week, bro. When you wasn't paying attention, but when Tree asked me about it, I said I didn't have it. Dude, that side eye, I was like, oh snap. That's like your mom used to give you back in the day. She gave me that look. She said, all right. That's all right. I said, man, I spent about 15 minutes trying to download it and fix it up. But you notice I had the little nice little your Hawaiian blue on the side, Detroit Lions. Hook you up a
Yeah,
little something, something.
you did a great job. It looks really nice. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. Amen. All
That's
right.
our theme song all year because we ready. I'm just saying.
Well, Tom, I ask you a question. Do you think the Lions are really? Tree says she thinks they're the best team in the NFC. Do you think they're that good? 6-2. They've looked pretty stout. What do you rate the Lions?
This is how you judge a team. How many points you put on the board offensively, how many points you decline defensively. And right now, when you look at Detroit, they are ranked probably fifth when it comes to scoring in the NFC. So, yes, I do think they are real. And when you look at them defensively, I believe they are ranked like third or so overall defense and points allowed. So, yes, they are for real. That's how you determine a team, whether they're a good team. When you get in the red zone, do you score? And right now, being ranked fifth offensively, they have taken advantage of their opportunities in the red zone. Defensively, when you get in the red zone against the Lions, they know how to stop you. That's how you win championships. All that other stuff, throwing for 50,000 yards and running for 5 million yards, that stuff don't mean nothing if you can't get that ball over that goal line.
No doubt. And we see that right here in our backyard. Team has struggled trying to get things happening here in Atlanta. So those are our teams when we look at. We look at Detroit and look at the Eagles. The Eagles, the defending NFC champions, look like they're rounding into form. Uh, I don't know what kind of game they play against Dallas, but Dallas found a way to do what bad teams do, botch that game up when they had multiple shots to at least tie the score and maybe even win. So yeah, shout out to Detroit. I mean, they're balling out right now, 6-2, averaging about just around 25 points a game, and defense only allowing about 19 or 20 points a game. So
Their defense better than the Philadelphia Eagles as far as points allowed. Detroit, their defense is better.
yeah, I mean, like you said, man. I mean, the thing about this team is they're well balanced. Everybody likes to coach. Coaches got a lot of good energy, and so they're going to be a tough out. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to be a tough team to beat. So we're going to have our eye on that. Um, yeah, and it's going to be really defense against offense because the Eagles are scoring at a nifty clip, 252 points already here in this season in 9 games. So they're averaging almost 30 points a game. And the only team that really nobody in the NFC has come close to that. So it's ought to be very interesting as we get down to it. And that's going to be something that we here may not be able to enjoy too much. Yeah, so let's go
The key for
to
Detroit,
social media right here.
you know, while we go to social media, I think the key for Detroit also, just like any team that's good, injuries. This
Right.
is what Coach Campbell, we're like in week 9, week 10, the body starts to get tired. Coach Campbell, he's been a veteran. He's played the game, so he knows how the body goes through that last half of the season. So if he doesn't become like a Jim Mora, back in the day, that old school, and you know what, we're not tired. Keep going. That's why we're undefeated. That's why we have a great record. Work hard. Well, smart coaches know that the body gets tired. So when the guys do something good, give them that extra break. When we win on Sunday, you know what? We call it Victory Monday. Victory Monday. We get Monday off. We get Tuesday off. We'll see you guys Wednesday. That's how you win championship. Get a guy's time to body to recover. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Campbell handles this winning going into the latter part of the season to calm down those injuries.
Ty said Lions are like that new car. Look good till it blows the engine later. Well, Todd, I see that today you're just hating on all of my teams, but that's okay. You don't have to like my Lions. I believe in us, and we're a good team. Sullivan said, Tree, you said we going to be undefeated. I never said we were going to be undefeated.
See,
We're going to the Super Bowl. I didn't say we're going to be undefeated. I wanted us to lose a couple of games because when you lose early on, I think it helps you when you get to the end of the season. I didn't want us to go undefeated because you get a lot of teams that will go undefeated and then they get to the playoffs and then they lose. I'm not worried about losing during the season as long as we get to the final goal, which is to win a Super Bowl. And I said we are going to the Super Bowl. And remember, you guys were talking about me. Sullivan said, hit me up at Village Burger coming. We coming, Sullivan. I can't wait to eat some burgers.
He actually meant DM me, Tyrone, not PM. I mean DM. We got you. All right, let's get to our Atlanta Falcons here. We got a few more minutes left in the broadcast here. Let's see here. Todd is saying, what is he saying there?
Coach not fired. Black buddies with Smith's dad, horrible owner.
I think he meant Mr. Blank. Todd gets so excited his fingers get jammed up. He meant Mr. Blank. Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Blank. Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, it's like this. The team has just, I really don't understand what to say. I couldn't really say anything. I felt like guys 19 point now, listening to them after the end of the ball game, and the guys said, we're speechless, man. I mean, it's hard to watch the team because you see a team that has the ability to win ball games, and they just find a new way every week to just shoot themselves in the foot. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you guys take a look at how it looked at the very end of the broadcast. Let you guys kind of take a look at how it looked. I'm not sure what happened here. I'm doing with Tyrone, so I'm hitting too many buttons. All right, we'll let you guys take a look here at the final couple of plays that kind of did the Falcons in. And Tyrone, I want you to give me an analysis here of what you see on these two plays here. This first play is when the Falcons seem to have had the Vikings stopped, and then this happened. If I'm not mistaken, that was either 3rd and 17 or 4th and 17. What on earth did you just see there, Tyrone?
All I just saw was basically, I didn't see anything that was alarming. You saw a missed tackle, an opportunity, but then you saw an athlete. The Vikings got athletes too now. Let's not think that the Vikings, every team in NFL has talent. And Hobbs, a talented guy, recognized the pressure from his left side, boom, and escaped. Found a hole in the defensive rush, and everybody else was in coverage, and he used his athletic ability. So that play right there, I don't think that was the deciding factor on their win and loss. That, to me, that was a play that happens every day. But there are plays that I'm pretty sure happened in that game that are more significant than that play you just showed right there.
Well, it was tough to see because, like I say again, you got about, I think at that time when it happened, about 30 or 40 seconds left. The Vikings have to score a touchdown. There was actually no containment at all. I think it was like either 3rd and 17 or 4th and 17. And, after that, it set up this with about 20 seconds to go. Ball game. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess what probably the most distressing thing is, you got a guy that technically was your 3rd string quarterback. Now, I know Joshua Dobbs. He was a killer at Tennessee. He showed some flashes. I think he was at Pittsburgh for a while. But the guy was basically called, hey, man, we're going to trade for you. Can you come on here and be the backup to our backup? Backup gets hurt. And they said literally the coach was talking to him up right until like about 6 or 7 seconds before the snap, going over the plays. And yet they were able to score 21 points and get the win against the Falcons. And I think that's why fans are just going ballistic, because you're thinking to yourself, this is a game you should have won. But to your point, Tyrone, actually a turning point in that game, forgetting all that stuff there, turning point in that game was this. Falcons go up 21-13 after defense makes a great play against Minnesota. Offense crisply gets it in. They are now on the move again with the ball, leading 21-13. And one of their star players, after a 14-yard run, fumbles the ball. Minnesota comes down and scores. And then the ensuing drive for the Falcons, their new starting quarterback throws an interception. And that 10-point swing was really, to me, more the ball game than any of those two plays. Yeah, this Falcons continues. Go ahead.
No, I was saying we turned the ball over as well a couple of times. So it was, you know.
Yeah, but the Falcons out there doing those things like when you absolutely just can't. I mean, it was so critical. Like you said, that was a turning point. I mean, they just yeah. Anyway, I don't know what to think about that team. I just think there's a disconnect. Like you mentioned, you guys had turned the ball over. The Falcons had the ball at the one, first and goal for the one. 4 shots. They couldn't do anything and kick
Because
a
we
field goal.
play good defense.
Well, you play good defense, and Arthur Smith called the game like he was a knucklehead. You got one of the best rushing attacks in the league, and you're trying trick plays and jet sweeps. Hey man, I mean, just you the Falcons are one of the few teams that have a fullback. Put your fullback in, get that tackle eligible in there, and just run the ball. I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, I just
Well, they did try to run the ball, but again, the Vikings were just playing good defense. Honestly, it was just a really good game. So I don't think that the Falcons just played horribly. Yes, there were mistakes that were made on both sides with both teams. And yes, Dobbs was new and didn't know the plays, and he escaped quite a few sacks and tackles, which definitely helps because he just really played outstanding. But I remember when the Falcons scored, the last score that they scored, and it was, I think, 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the game, and all the fans were just, oh, so excited, so excited. And I said, hey, 2 minutes is still a long time in football. And sure enough, the Vikings came back and scored and won. But if things could have gone differently and it could have been a different outcome. But I don't think that the Falcons just played horribly. Yes, there were mistakes made from both teams, but it was a decent game. I would say a good game played, in my
well,
opinion.
I mean, I don't blame you. I know you are a Vikings fan as well. But yeah, I just thought I mean, the play calling with them not deciding to run the ball when they had the ball in close, with them not using guys like Cordarrelle Patterson. Speaking of that, let's just see here. I think we got something on social media here, right here.
Todd says, sad time to be a Falcons fan. Now players posting on Twitter calling out coach. Really? Oh.
Yeah, we had a little situation with Cordarrelle Patterson basically posting on Twitter something to the effect that, hey man, I can do this. I guess they were showing one of those short yardage plays, and he said, remember, I'm the guy who can tote this rock as well. So definitely there's the spirit of discontent, but probably a bad idea to put something on social media. I mean, Tyron, like I said, I never played at that level. Social media doesn't seem to be a good idea for any player when they're still playing. Do you think?
Hey, that question answers itself, Jonathan. Like they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And I can say this, all great teams, you don't see that happening. I don't care if they're losing. When you got order and people respect the franchise, they respect what's going on. And then on top of that, you got to have leadership in the locker room. So when you have those things in play, stuff like that don't happen. It don't happen. Because not only will the players chew you out, the coach gonna chew you out. But when you got great leadership in the locker room, stuff like that don't happen. So that says a lot about the leadership in the locker room for the Falcons, as well as the organization, just in my mind.
And I'm shocked that the guy who did it because to me, Cordarrelle looked like a veteran guy. Basically, like somebody said today on the radio, he was kind of looking around when he was brought to the Falcons and really kind of rejuvenated everything. So yeah, it just was a shock that he was the guy to come out like that and say something like that because he looked like he was really a team guy. Interesting to get upset when he carried when they had the young rookie come in last year. So definitely, yeah, definitely a shock. Definitely a shock. I could not believe that he came out and said that. Well, we are about at our time to go, guys. So you know how we do it. We want to make sure that you guys always know how to find out more about our guests and our co-hosts. So, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Tyrone Poole 38, all social medias. Tyrone Poole 38, all social medias. Appreciate everybody. Hope everybody have a great rest of your evening, and see you next time.
And remember, only DM him for free food or serious inquiries only. Don't be messing around. I'm just saying. Tyrone Poole, thank you, sir. The Queen, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I do want to say that next week, Saturday, we are doing our annual turkey and trimmings giveaway where we are feeding 600 to 800 people and giving them a box with a frozen turkey and all of the trimmings to make a Thanksgiving meal. If you would like to make a donation to Making a Better Me Incorporated, you can go to makingabetterme.org and make a donation to feed families in need for a Thanksgiving dinner. You can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Ms. America International 2022. Thank you all for watching. Have a great evening.
The website right there, makingabetterme.org. You guys see it right there. So please, please, please make a contribution today or tomorrow, whichever one you can do. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up here. As you know, I'm a real live minister of the gospel, so I don't want to lead the broadcast until I ask you this question I ask you every week. Do you know the Lord Jesus Christ? If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, I'm going to tell you, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. Why? Nobody loves you like Jesus. He's the one that died for you so that you can be forgiven of your sins, and he rose from the dead. So when that happened, two great things can happen to you. If you repent of your sins and believe in him, number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. But number two, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, ask him for anything that you need or desire, and he will get it to you. And when you leave this place, you go to one of the most spectacular places ever even designed or even thought about, called heaven. It's beautiful. No bad people, no pain, no pandemic. You never get old. You never die. It never gets dark because the glory of God illuminates the kingdom. Every building adorned with those spectacular jewels you can ever think of. As a matter of fact, streets are paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I mentioned in heaven won't be in hell. So it's dark, it's dreary, it's fiery, it's painful. But most of all, you cut off from God, mighty Jesus Christ, and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, everybody, until the next time we get back together and see you again, you know how we do it. We simply say God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever may apply. So long and God bless. See you.
All right, guys, it seems like I was calling out number 6 all night long. He's going to introduce himself to you right now.
Cool boy Bert, number 6 for I coach football.